Jim and Rebecca married and moved to the big city. But after having 4 kids, we decided that wasn't for us. So we traded in our house for a 36-foot RV and a piece of raw land. Now we're taming this mess and creating a homestead. Jim has had a lot of job opportunities come his way in the last few weeks, but I think this was his favorite. He got to travel down to Brooksville to work with some friends in the primitive skills community. These guys do everything, from creating ancient-style bows and arrows to flint knapping their own knives and points and more.
Hey peoples, I'm headed to Ryan Gill's house. You guys are gonna love this video. It's gonna be awesome. I'll be doing some filming of Ryan. He's gonna actually use a spear, which is called an atlatl, and you'll see some more in the video. He'll go into detail, but he's actually doing research with a college on Stone Age technology. I've met Ryan before, but I don't really know him that well, but really good dude. He's always kept in touch with me and really helped me try to develop the mess. Done a lot of things that really he didn't have to do, he just somebody I really admire and appreciate for his advice. So it's really cool to come to his house and see where he does all his stuff and how he does his business and all that good stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. Alright, well, we got that figured out pretty quick.
Awesome. How long have you been napping for?
I started learning in 2015.
Okay. And what's your name?
Carly.
Carly. Awesome.
Hi, Ryan.
How long have you been napping?
I don't
Since
know.
you were 4?
No, not that long, I don't think.
No.
I don't even know. Probably back 20 years, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Wow. So what got you into the primitive skills? When did you first get your desire to get into this stuff?
Really, really young.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know that's what I really wanted to do. I just watched guys when we get a traditional archery shoot. So it's the guys shooting in the self-bow class and all that. And I was like, that's what I want to do right there.
Yeah.
So just kind of got started as early as I could. So.
And what got you, so you started making stuff on your own for yourself originally, and then you got to a point where people were like, hey, can you make me this?
Yeah, when the economy dropped out in 2008, I got laid off from a job I used to build swimming pools. And so then I just started selling some knives and whatnot to kind of make ends meet on it. And next thing you know, it just kept snowballing from there. So, and then I realized I'd rather do that than go back to building swimming pools or anything else. So.
And when do you feel, how many years did it take where you felt like you made it and you were actually making decent money and
How many years till then?
How many years did it take, the hard work and all that, before you were like, yeah, now I've made it, I know I have made a name for myself?
Since then, probably 10 to 15 before it made any real difference. But it's all it's all on a spectrum.
Yeah.
Because at one point I thought I was doing really, really well and making a lot of money, and then as you grow, you look back going, oh wow, I can't even believe that I was at that point. At one point in time, how did I even survive?
Yeah.
So yeah, it just depends on when you ask me. You probably ask me in another 10 years. I'm gonna be like,
hopefully.
You'll be like, I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago.
That was before I was a millionaire. So what's your name?
Kelly Gill. I'm Ryan Gill's wife.
Awesome. And every tribe has, integral people, and I believe you're very integral. How have you helped Ryan dream be realized?
Well, when he first decided he wanted to do this, we were kind of in a rough spot. He had been laid off of work, and we were in the process of losing our home. And then we moved to Montana, and he decided that that's what he was going to do. So I was working 2 jobs while he built the dream. And now it's finally gotten to a point where he's doing well enough that I was able to quit my 9 to 5, and now I work for him doing the packing and the shipping and the customer service and inventory and such.
When did it become your dream as well? Like what did you see that made you say, hey, this is good for our family in general, and made you want to be a part of it?
It took a while. When he first said this was what he wanted to do, I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, sure, that's really gonna happen. It took a couple years.
Yeah.
I think it took, once we had our kid, our first son, and we moved back to Florida and started really turning it on to where we could get back on our feet and provide for our child. And then once it reached the point where he got busy enough that I started helping was when it became really real. But I would say it really started to be a turning point when we had our first son.
When did you start actually implementing and hunting with your bows and arrows and everything like that?
The bows were late teens, yeah, so right after that high school kind of phase.
Okay. And then what got you into doing the research, like where you were like interested in, hey, I know all this information, now I want to share this with other people. What pushed you over the edge to like write your book and all that?
I think because I always wanted to share stuff with everybody, but then I always thought that the university level was like really high, but I didn't go to college for any of that stuff. And so what was interesting is once I kind of got the door opened to go to universities and start working with them, I realized how much they started asking me questions about stuff, and then I realized how much I actually had to offer. And so it just really took off at that point to where I said, okay, I need to start collecting a lot more data and putting this down because nobody actually is. I assumed that the questions that I was asking that people at the university would know, and then you come to find out later, no, they really don't know, because really nobody does this and collects the data at the same time.
All right, he's going to demonstrate how this thing works.
Yeah, so we're in the back of the dart here is a hole kind of bored out that attaches with the spur. The spur feeds into the back of that hole there, and that clicks in. Not really clicks in, but it bites. Then you put downward pressure on the spear and then pinch it with your 2 fingers here, and then you're holding that back in there.
Okay.
As this is thrown, it goes forward, it rides that spur, and it gets pushed off of that in the direction of the target. So we got the hay bale down there. It's about,
what, 50 yards?
That's easily 300 yards away. So we'll have to really get after it.
That's right. Get after
We're
it.
gonna line up on it, and
There it is. Sweet.
everybody that wants to know who I am knows who I am.
That's right. So what got you into the primitive skills?
I think personally, my first deployment to Afghanistan and working with the Afghan people and seeing what it really looks like to not have a lot of first world problems, right? So, you know, they got a lot of stuff out there, and they make a lot of things work with a lot of limited stuff. So it kind of, you know, showed me more so what you can do, you know, more with less kind of thing, which is kind of the Hobo Forge kind of adage, is like repurposing things into something else, you know, and not letting stuff kind of just die. You know, they repurpose everything over there, you know, no matter what it is. So I don't know, I think really the primitive skills was really kind of born in me, in the ability to, you know, make more with less and kind of thing.
So you were Army?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And then how many years?
21 years in the Army, and then I worked at 10 years as a survival instructor for the U.S. Army Special Operations.
Awesome. And when did you first start hunting with the primitive weapons?
Well, I think I like most people, I hunted with modern weapons, guns, rifles, shotgun, that kind of thing. And then I went to the compound bow, and I think it's been more of a situation in which, kind of trying to make it a little bit more and more difficult on myself to really enjoy the experience more, and not so much about killing the animal, but enjoying hunting the animal, enjoying the hunt. But, kind of teaming up with Ryan Gill and kind of becoming friends with him over the years has really put me on the quest to, build your own bow, build your, the hunt, the build and hunt adage that Ryan always talks about, just kind of building your own gear and then taking it to the field and trying to put it together out there. Yeah, to really just enjoy being in the woods, man. The proximity that you get close to the deer, that's really the success. I'd rather miss a deer at 8 yards than shoot a deer at 300 yards. It's not about the kill for me, so, some people, maybe it is, and that's kind of their thing. But for me, it's about the challenge of, building the skill set behind taking it to field and connecting with the people that had to do that before you. There's a different feel to carrying a piece of wood from the woods that you're hunting in, and holding that in your hand and using that as a weapon in which to take game is pretty cool deal.
So you make all your bows and your arrows and all that?
Absolutely, yeah, everything.
Okay.
Flint knapp, all my arrowheads, all that. Yep.
Awesome. And what got you into knife making?
Again, I think that also kind of was born out of the desire, self-reliance, ability to make your own stuff, repurpose stuff. I'm very creative in that aspect, and just super passionate about, making stuff out of nothing, so to speak. And now I feel more so that the blacksmithing and the knife making thing is just therapeutic for me. We outsource so much of everything today to technology that we've become almost inept at skills that are so important to our daily lives from a water, shelter, fire, food standpoint. We're so quick to outsource those responsibilities to technology or to other people, that we're becoming almost inept at living, and that connectivity between us and the planet. People preach, save the planet and global warming and blah 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 blah, but yet they don't actually spend any time out, in the out in nature, like really appreciating and making that connectivity. And I think primitive skills really force you to do that.
How can people, if they want to buy a knife or a tomahawk from you, how can they do that?
So obviously my wait list, my custom wait list is always open. I don't know how long you'll be on there, but it's always open for your name. I don't take any money up front, obviously. I take money when I build your product, but the website, trying to get stuff up on the website, www.hoboforgesurvival.com, and then obviously my Instagram and Facebook, Hobo Forge Survival. So check it out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
How do you hope to help your kids by being an entrepreneur and doing what you do? How do you hope that will help the next generation, especially with your sons?
We'd like to show them that if you follow your dreams, they're possible. You don't have to follow the norm and toe the general line for what everybody says is correct. If you have a dream and you're willing to work hard and pursue it, those dreams are possible. The sky's the limit if you're willing to reach.
We are so privileged to be able to meet like-minded people and support each other in our quest for a life of independence. If you'd like to follow Ryan's study of ancient hunting methods, you can follow him on Facebook at Hunt Primitive. And stay tuned, because we are preparing to host our own Primitive Skills event right here at The Mess. Welcome to The Mess.
Where God takes our mess
And makes it his best.
Yes.